Welcome
to Doctor Time and Space episode 150.
Oh, me so tired.
Very late.
Oh, very
We're
tired.
5 hours. This podcast is 5 hours later than it usually is. Not because you're in America or anything. It's because you've been at Bournemouth Film and Comic Con all day and everything.
But it probably is actually like an American podcast at the time, isn't it? If we were living in America, we'd be doing the podcast about now.
Yeah.
You're not usually even awake by this time of night, are you?
What do you mean?
You'd normally be asleep now, wouldn't you? Probably. On Saturday.
Going to sleep.
Going to sleep, yeah. But instead, here we are. Wide awake.
Half awake.
Half awake.
If we store off to the land of Bedlam, then please do not moan because we're just tired.
We've got a busy day, haven't we? Do you want to explain what's on the show today?
It's episode the big 150.
Oh. I'm D-Cool, by the way.
I'm Leslie. Only 50 episodes till the big 200.
Wowza. We will be having a party, obviously, and you're all invited.
Yeah.
It will be a online party only, but...
Yeah. But we've got an inside look at this year's Bournemouth Film and Comic Con.
Yes, we have.
Well, give you details on that after later on in the show.
Well, what is the itinerary for tonight's show? So we've got the Film and Comic Con. The usual. What am I saying about? We'll have our usual review of the episode that we watched earlier in the week, Vampires of Venice. What else we got on?
We've got a look at the pressing the roundabout.
So we are half asleep, aren't we? No idea what's going on. So we're pressing the randomizer.
I apologise, guys, for our idiot.
And is that about it? News and views.
And who to face.
And we do who to face. We're never going to be in a manager who to face when we're half asleep, are we? Who's starting it this time?
I can't remember.
I think it's you, actually.
Sadly, I think it is.
So, shall we kick off with the news? If you're alert enough to read it. So, what does the news bring us?
I don't know. Peter Capaldi has been doing the interview roundup to mark the Series 9 DVD launch this week, which we talked a little bit about last week, and has, of course, been asked about his Doctor Who future beyond Series 10. Speaking to BBC Radio Scotland, he said, "I haven't made my mind up. I've been asked to stay on, which is lovely, and I think Chris Chibnall's fantastic and a wonderful choice." He added, "To be perfectly honest, it's so far away in the future, you know. Doctor Who is a very difficult thing to say goodbye to, and I don't want to make that decision right now. They've asked me to stay on, so when I am forced to make that decision, I will make it."
So that in itself, that's quite interesting, isn't it? Because there was a lot of thoughts that maybe he would be asked to step aside when Chris Chibnall took over, so that it's a new showrunner with a fresh face as the Doctor. Now that seems to sort of indicate that the BBC said to him, "We'd like you to stay on for longer."
What would you prefer, a new showrunner and a new Doctor, or would you prefer like Peter Capaldi to stay on for season 8?
I love Capaldi.
Me too.
I love Capaldi. I don't want Capaldi ever to finish.
Everybody loves Capaldi.
I don't want him ever to finish. He's brilliant. I don't want Capaldi to finish until he feels that he's run his course with it.
Yeah.
At the point where...
And he said that the other day on Steve Wright.
Right. So once he gets to the stage where he's no longer enjoying it, or he's finding it hard, because it must be quite grueling, you know. Let's face it, he's not a young man.
He said
now.
When he feels the time is right, he will leave.
Yeah. Yeah.
Which I don't know when that will be. Depends what Chris Chibnall will want, really.
Yeah, there is that. I mean, how
depends what sort of things he will bring us.
You might read the script and think, "Oh my God, this is pants."
Yeah.
It's like
the adventure. Pants.
It's Adventures of the Pants. You might look at it, it might just be sort of 13 episodes of dinosaurs on a spaceship or something.
9 o'clock podcast.
So that's interesting news, isn't it? I think that sort of clarifies a little bit Peter's position, although obviously we won't be fully finalised until such time as he makes his announcement. But hopefully he'll hang around with us for some time yet.
So he also made a TV appearance on ITV's Lorraine, and regarding Series 10 filming, would only say it's going to start very soon. Actually, it's going to start in May.
Is that right? Has that been announced? So it's not that very soon. When do we reckon the new series will be on? Do we reckon it will be about this time next year?
About this time next year, yeah.
We were saying earlier, weren't we, that wouldn't it be great if it coincided with our 200th episode? It'd just be convenient, wouldn't
That
it?
would be great.
Yeah, it won't happen, but it'd be convenient.
Bob's Film and Comic Con number 4.
Yeah.
So, he said, he added, for some reason, I'm not allowed to tell you exactly. Doctor Who's found in secrecy always, and you can see 2 videos in the show notes, which I can't be bothered to write tonight because I just want to go to sleep tonight. So I won't write them.
So you write the show notes tomorrow morning. So that last bit that you mentioned then, I'm not sure what it was he was talking about. When he says he's not allowed to tell them exactly, what's that? About the filming. Right, yeah, I'm with you. Okay, no, that's good.
Yeah.
Fine. Do we have any more news?
Obviously.
Or are you going to pretend we don't just so you can sleep?
Probably both. BBC Worldwide is to close the online BBC shop, which sells books, DVDs, Blu-rays and games related to BBC output. Instead, the company will concentrate on BBC Store, which launched last year and offers digital copies of BBC programmes. BBC Worldwide explained its thinking. The DVD market has been in decline for a number of years as consumers move to digital viewing. The market no longer supports the commercial release of many of the titles we're able to make available on BBC Store. BBC Worldwide returns profits to the BBC's public service to reinvest in programming.
Okay. That's so I wasn't sure what the difference between BBC Store and BBC whatever the other thing was.
Shop.
BBC Shop, yeah. So BBC Store is the online one, which is digital.
Yeah.
Versions. Okay, no, that makes sense.
So the shop closes on 30th of March, and a number of bargains, including Doctor Who merchandise, can be obtained while stocks last.
I think you've actually benefited from that, haven't you?
I have, yeah.
Yeah.
Because I have brought a lot today. I have brought a lot from the BBC Store shop.
Yeah. You're going to be like really crazy tonight, aren't you? Because you're so tired. You'll just go into zany mode, be crazier than normal. Do we have any more news to share today?
More Peter Capaldi discussing future.
Oh.
It's a bit of exactly the same news.
So nothing new. Really.
Okay, Peter Capaldi. Okay, Peter Capaldi appeared on a number of programmes yesterday to promote the release of Doctor Who: The Complete 9th Series on DVD, Blu-ray, and through the BBC Store.
But not the BBC Shop, because that was closing.
During which he also discussed his present and potential future involvement with the show. Speaking on BBC Radio's, we read that earlier. Speaking on BBC Radio to Steve Wright in the afternoon, he said, "I love being Doctor Who, so I will be around as it's right to be around."
Okay.
That's what I heard the Steve Wright interview.
Yeah.
Quite an interesting one.
Oh, cool. Excellent. The bottom bit on this news item looks quite interesting.
Okay, so sad when Jenna. So the new series will also feature the new companion. With Peter telling Steve Wright, sad when Jenna Coleman was on the show before I arrived. So she was my welcome to the show. And she introduced me to it and told me where to go and where to get my corned beef, where to sit and all that stuff. And she was absolutely lovely, so I'll miss her very much. We're going to have a new companion because we're just obviously about to start filming the new season. It's going to be someone very different and who will be announced shortly. I really can't say who that is, but the whole dynamic is going to be very different. And that's good too, you know, it's a different character.
So, the big question. What sort of person do we think this is likely to be if it's going to be something very different?
Well, on the Steve Wright interview,
Yeah.
he said that he didn't deny that it was going to be a male companion. He didn't deny that.
Okay.
Or he didn't deny whether it was going to be a alien companion.
Okay. So it could be anything.
Could be anything.
All we know is it'd be companion-esque. Yeah.
Yeah, but very different.
Yeah.
Now, what sort of thing do you want for a new companion?
Do you think it would be good to introduce a canine type companion again?
Yeah.
What do you think?
What's the main companion?
Yeah, I know Keenan wasn't really, was it? Keenan was always a supplementary one. I don't know. And Peter plays very well off himself, but he also works very well with other people.
Yeah.
So I don't know. You probably want that dynamic of another human, don't you?
What would you? What sort of suggestions would you like for the people who jump out at you?
I don't know about actors and actresses. I'm not very good at knowing who's who anyway. But I think, like we said before on the show, I'd like somebody that's a little bit more feisty, fighty, sort of like perhaps a cross between Leela and Ace.
Yeah.
That'd be quite good.
That would be.
I excuse me. I think in many ways, I like there being a female companion as the primary companion.
Yeah.
Even if it means there's another companion as well, sort of like you had with Rory, and in the old days you had with people like Ben and you know. Ian, Jamie, and stuff like that. You know, we'd always have a female companion because the male and female thing is always good. I think there's a different dynamic with that, and it needs to keep that real important female role within the show. I think as well.
Yeah. So, if there was a female doctor, would you say that the companion would have to be a male? Do you think the roles would swap around
I think
completely?
so, yeah. I think they would, yeah.
And then maybe like have it the other way round with characters like Amy and Rory and Ian and Mark.
Yeah, I think it would. Exactly. I think it'd exactly do that. Yeah. And we'll come on to that because that was a point that came up at a number of occasions at the Comic Con today, didn't it?
Twice, I think.
Yeah. Twice, yeah. 2 being the number. I was thinking of. Okay.
So, Radio Times has reported, in addition to its usual duties in Doctor Who, Capaldi may also make a guest appearance in spin-off series Class, which we talked about last week. What do you think about these rumours? Do you think it's true?
Well, the one about him being in Class?
Yeah.
I think he will, yeah, because I think they'll want that to help promote Class.
Yeah.
Particularly if it's tucked away on BBC pointless to be online thing. I'd imagine they'll want something to encourage people to go and watch it.
So is it true that they're replacing it with BBC Three, BBC Plus One?
That's what I've read somewhere, but I can't remember where I read it. So it may or may not be true.
Soon they'll be getting rid of iPlayer.
Yeah, probably. No, I don't know. Well, BBC iPlayer is actually probably the best iPlayer that's available. I think.
What better? Like ITV player and stuff.
Yeah. Okay. Do we have more news?
I think we do. Season 9 exhibits arrive at experience.
Okay.
So the Doctor Who experience in Cardiff has now been updated to feature props and costumes from the latest series of Doctor Who shown last year, including the Christmas special, Husbands of River Song. Costumes include these worn by the Doctor, Clara, River Song and Ashildare, alongside monsters such as the Maya, Sandman, the Veil, and Comedy Club. Displays also include sets such as the Davros Hospital Room and Trap Street.
Oh, brilliant! That's really cool, isn't it? Yeah, that is good.
So here we've got one of Davros's hospital room.
Yeah.
Another one of
that's really good.
Davros's hospital room.
So it's funny when we look at these pictures because obviously people listening
But
can't,
it's in the
can't
show
see them. But
notes.
if you can always click on the you can't at the moment because they're not on there yet. They won't be on there till tomorrow, which are tied. But if you do listen back later, you can click on the show notes. I guess as you're listening.
Yeah,
And
the
have a look at
American
the
people they were listening at about 9 o'clock.
Yeah, seeing why are they tired? It's still early, but it's not here. Yeah, cool. That's interesting.
The Osgood Box.
Oh yeah.
And Trap Street.
Oh, Trap Street. I like that. Yeah. Real.
Which have you always wanted to go to? Yeah,
I would love to go to. I mean, we've been talking about trying to get there again, haven't we? It's just that when we looked at it last time, it was quite expensive, and not so much the Doctor Who experience itself, which will be relatively expensive, but you expect that.
Yeah.
It's the getting there and staying there,
Wish
isn't
it was still in London.
It is a shame, actually. Yeah, it's a shame. But for us, obviously, for the people in Cardiff, it's fantastic. For us, not that we live in London, but we've got relatively easy access to London.
Yeah. So, Genesis of the Daleks is back on vinyl. So
there's a big vinyl renaissance at the moment.
Yeah. Demon Records to re-release a special version of the 1970s vinyl soundtrack of Genesis of the Daleks, featuring linking narration by Tom Baker as part of this year's Record Store Day, taking place on 16th of April 2016.
There you go. So you'll have to buy that and so you can play it on your mum's new record player.
Yeah.
She's really excited about a new record player, and you can just like you take over the TV with your Doctor Who DVDs. You can start taking over a record player as well with your Genesis of the Daleks soundtrack.
Well, the thing is, it's also the TV is also my TV, mainly hers, but also mine, and the record player isn't mine.
Yeah.
So I deserve to take over TV because Doctor Who deserves to take over the TV, and we all know that, don't we, guys?
So, do we have any other news or gossip?
Bit.
Apparently, Peter Capaldi discusses his future. Oh, we've done that twice. Okay. You go bonkers when you're tired.
We've got our acting behind the sofa t-shirts.
We have, yeah. We'll have to include a picture of those at some point on the website.
Yeah.
The t-shirts. I guess people will be able to see them when they see the video of the Comic-Con.
Yeah. So. You're not in there much, the video. You're voicing, but you're not in there.
No, but that's probably a blessing.
Oh.
Right, so what other news do we have?
So,
we need to get to bed.
as part of their ongoing series of Lethbridge Stewart novels, Candy Jar Books also published a number of short stories to accompany them as downloads. These have now been collected together and will be published in an anthology, The Havoc Files. The book includes the series Ambush, Legacies, One Cold Step, The Cult of the Grinning Man, The Dogs of War, and The Fight Before Christmas. As an added bonus, the collection also includes a previously unreleased story, The Enfolded Time, by Andy Frankham Allen. In keeping the tradition of accompanying e-books, this title will be no exception, with purchasers of the book also to receive a digital copy of In His Kiss, written by best-selling author Sue Hampton. Set during Alastair Lethbridge Stewart's early days as a teenager in 1945, is described as a haunting tale of lost love.
Yeah, interesting. I was just thinking, it's a bit of an aside, but as well as being really tired, you've also got a cold, haven't you, at the moment? So you're all sort of like snotty and spluttery. But I was chuckling to myself a second ago because I remember saying to you earlier on in the day, it's going to be really late by the time we get to do the podcast today. Did you want to do it tonight, or do you want to do it in the morning? You said, I want to do it in the morning. Sorry, I want to do it tonight. Don't want to do it in the morning. Whereas now you're like, oh, what? Can't make it.
I'm not like that. Am I?
No, not really.
Basically.
What? Do we have other news?
I don't think so, but the new series of Lethbridge Stewart begins in April with the release of Moonblink by Sadie Miller.
Yeah, that sounds good. That sounds good. So, any more news, or are we on to our main
No,
item?
that's the final bit of news.
So, main item this week is
A look at Bournemouth Film and Comic Con 2016.
excellent. So we spent the majority of the day there today, didn't we?
Yeah,
We
that's
got
why
there.
we've got this podcast on today.
Why we were so late? So we got there about 11 o'clock.
Yeah.
Do you want to tell the story about the queuing?
Okay. The queuing was massive, probably even longer at things like London, but the queuing went all the way from the Bic, all the way around that area. It went to the second floor of that car park.
Yeah, it was all the cars that were going past, and trying to sort of park up, and us standing there in a big long queue.
Geeky people standing there in their cosplay and costumes.
But
Like
actually,
Colin Baker walking
Yeah.
by.
but to be fair though, it was actually
With
once.
the woman with the white dress and the
Yeah.
shoes with him.
Yes, that's right.
Doctor.
That's right. But the once the doors opened actually at 11, actually the queue moved really quickly, didn't it? So we got it quickly. Although unfortunately, because we were so far back in the queue, we did miss the majority of the first talk that we were hoping to get to.
Which is Noel Clark.
He played Mickey.
Yeah. But he's also quite famous for other things as well.
Yeah.
Then you can see he was £20 to buy. So.
Well, his autograph was. You couldn't buy him for £20.
His autograph and his photo were £20.
Yeah. So he's also in Star Trek.
Yeah.
So I haven't seen the Star Trek films, the new ones. But.
Let's talk about some of the highlights.
Okay. So should we talk about first of all about the Doctor Who related people that were there?
Yes.
Did you want to reel those off?
So there was Noel Clark, Mickey. There was Kai Owen from Torchwood. Riot, by the way. Anique Wills, Polly. Paul Darrow plays various roles in Doctor Who. Gemma Redgrave, Kate Stewart. Angela Bruce, can't remember her name, but from Battlefield. And that was today.
Yeah. Was that it? I thought there was somebody else. They're not.
And Daniel Anthony.
Okay, from Sarah
Clyde.
Jane Adventures. Oh, and also, you are forgetting somebody. Rico Ross, yeah.
But it doesn't say here that Rico Ross, Aliens Death Wish.
Yeah, but as we know, he was in Doctor Who.
The ringmaster and greatest show in the galaxy.
Yeah, our favourite episode.
No. But Fraser Hines was the person we were originally trying to meet.
We would love to have met Fraser, wouldn't we?
But sadly, the other day we learned that he was going on he changed his day to the Sunday.
Yeah.
Or we'd accidentally looked at it wrong.
No, it was definitely Saturday initially.
Yeah.
It definitely was. And so he'd moved his day to the Sunday, but then today
he cancelled his. So there's the only people there tomorrow are Dorian, Simon Fishbecker, Colin Spall from Rose of the Cybermen, Age of Steel, and Ian McNeice from Winston Churchill.
Yeah. What about the Cyberman guy? Is he there?
Oh yeah.
Kevin
He's
Hudson.
not very good.
Yeah, well, you couldn't really tell. So anyone could turn up. I could turn up and say that I was a side man, and no one would know, would they?
It's just the background character, though. Look.
Yeah, but it was really good, though, wasn't it? We had a great time. I mean, we listened to a handful of talks.
And we'll talk about them in a second.
Okay. And bought some merchandise.
Yes.
Met the very lovely Gemma Redgrave.
Yeah.
And you got your autograph with her.
And the photo.
Photograph with her, and she was really lovely, actually. Wasn't she?
Yeah.
She was really, really lovely.
Very
really nice to talk to and everything. And, we enjoyed that. Do you think that was the highlight of the day?
Probably.
Yeah, I think it probably was.
I like meeting the people.
Yeah, and also I can't remember if I said it already, but sort of we had a look around all the merchandise that was there. We had a look at the cosplay stuff.
Yeah,
which is good.
There's a blind date thing going on there when we were there.
Blind date cosplay.
That was strange.
That was strange, wasn't it? It was one of these things that was borderline cringeful, but it was actually really entertaining.
Yeah.
Particularly because the host messed up right at the end, didn't he? And he read the wrong number as the one. But that was quite funny.
And the person who had won was the really non-romantic guy who goes to Gotham.
Yeah. So should we talk a little bit about? Should we talk talks?
Yeah, talks.
Talks.
So what should we start with?
Well, as we mentioned, the first one that we listened to, we got towards the end of, I should say, Noel Clarke's talk. He was literally just coming to his end.
So I've got some good. It's got lots of notes here.
Yeah, we're going to try and make sense of our notes now. Now, this will be quite challenging itself. We've not had time to write them out, and some of it was written by my.
Yeah, I was going to say that I and nobody else could read that Deagle's handwriting.
Yeah.
So.
Including Deagle. So I'll try and make sense of my notes as we go along. But I thought what we were hoping to do was to actually record some of the talks and actually include them within the podcast.
There were no video.
Yeah.
Audio recording.
And being the good people that we are,
we
thought we probably should obey the rules. So there we have it.
Yeah.
So if I could just sort of say, going back to Gemma Redgrave a second, and sort of saying about how lovely she was. What was also really nice is before I could say to her, it'd be really lovely if we could have a picture of you with Lewis. She was sort of basically taking the camera out of my hand, wasn't she? And she did a selfie, didn't she? She took it.
Yeah.
She sort of sat you next to her.
And then when you came out, you were like, Gemma Redgrave has touched my phone.
Yay, great moment. So talk. So should we start with Noel Clarke then? What did we? I'd say we didn't catch very much of Noel.
We only caught. Well, we caught 3 questions, I think, but one of them was both non-Doctor Who related, and we couldn't hear it.
No, because the sound for the first couple of talks was awful, wasn't it?
It got better as it went on.
It did. The problem was there was other stuff going on in the room where they had to talk. So there was other exhibition things going on, wasn't there?
There was like
some signings.
And there was Daniel Anthony. There was Angela Bruce.
I think the thing that made it really noisy.
Top Angela Bruce.
Yeah, I think the thing that made it really noisy though was that they had that little gaming area, didn't they?
Yeah.
Just sat behind. Yeah, like you said, sort of cards sort of area. I remember it was like sort of like gaming, sort of tabletop game sort of stuff going on. I think that's where the noise was coming from. But it just meant that because the speaker system they were using, the PA system they were using from the early part of the talks, was just a little bit muffly, and it was made it very difficult if you were sat in certain parts of the arena to hear what was being said. But we did catch a few bits from Noel Clarke.
So the first thing we heard him answer was a question from one of the lovely people at the Noel Clarke panel, and was asked what does he think of Rose as a character, and he said she was okay.
I think what he meant was she was really good, wasn't she? I think he was sort of joking around a little bit.
Noel Clark was also asked, would you like to see a female doctor? He said, I would, but I don't think they'd be brave enough to do it. He then asked the audience whether they wanted it, and they said it should be a man.
Yeah.
Majority.
It was the majority,
put their
wasn't
hands
it?
up,
Yeah.
including us.
Including us, yeah. So that was good. I enjoyed listening to it. It was a shame we didn't get to hear more of Noel.
Yeah. We're not being sexist, by the way, guys.
No.
It's just.
I think it's purely if Doctor Who had started as a woman, we'd enjoy it just as much, wouldn't we? And I think what we've said is we would love to see, in the same way as you really loved the Sarah Jane Adventures, which was the lead role was a woman. If there was a series about a woman Time Lord, you'd probably really enjoy it, wouldn't you? It's just the fact is, Doctor is a man.
Yeah.
And I think that's it, isn't it? You know, whilst he potentially could turn into a woman, it doesn't necessarily feel like he has to.
No. Can you?
Yeah, I'll move on.
Darrow, Doctor Who notes, and then you can talk a little bit about Blake Seven.
Yeah. Okay. So the next talk that we went to was Paul Darrow. Now, Paul is primarily famous for his role as Avon in Blake Seven.
Your favourite character.
It was, and as I mentioned before, Blake Seven probably when I was growing up was my favourite show, and he was certainly my favourite character. But he also did take part in 2 Doctor Who episodes, I think. One of which was the Silurians. Yeah.
One of which was the rubbish Time Lash.
Time Lash. And actually, one of the first questions that came up today was. It
was the first, I think.
What I think it was. It was somebody sort of asked about Paul's views on Colin Baker and Time Lash on the basis of the fact that Colin sometimes gets a bit of a rough deal in terms of the Doctor. And he basically said that Colin was a really great guy, and he jokingly sort of said he could do with losing some weight. But his actual he defined Time Lash as being a crap story, didn't he?
Which it is.
Which I can't comment. I don't really remember that one. But then he sort of felt that it was quite popular in its own right.
Right.
But
it's not popular. He's wrong.
The other Doctor Who related stuff that he mentioned about was somebody asked him what was it like working with John Pertwee, and he was saying about what a funny guy Pertwee was, and he used to sort of like crack gags just before they were going to go on and perform their scenes, and then they'd obviously all be laughing because of what John Pertwee had said, and he'd be hiding away in the background somewhere out of the way. So that was quite good. I won't dwell too much on the Blake Seven stuff because obviously it's the Doctor Who podcast.
Blake Seven is written mostly by Dalek creator Terry Nation. Creator.
Yeah. No, that's right. And I mean, they talked a bit about some of the Big Finish productions and whether Paul would like to see the Blake Seven story continued on there. So what happened after that big gun shootout at the end of Blake Seven?
Ended.
And he obviously sort of spoke very fondly of Big Finish. He also he sort of told a great story about his sort of showdown with Blake, and I think the actor that played Blake had basically sort of said, one of us is going to have to go, and Paul said, yes, guess who? And obviously the survivor from the fight, or we assume the survivor is Avon. So that's probably. I mean, there were other things I sort of jotted down that come out about it as well, but that's probably the main sort of Doctor Who related stuff, I think. And what was quite sad with Paul Darrow is that he obviously sort of presumed relatively recently lost his legs, hadn't he? His legs amputated, and but he looked very well, didn't he? But that was quite sort of a shock. I hadn't realised that. But he looks like he's coping really well, which is really nice to see. And he was very entertaining, wasn't he, as a talker? So it's really good to see it. And I'm really enjoying watching Blake Seven again at the moment. So really glad to have seen him.
And should I talk about the Doctor Who panel?
Yeah, indeed. I mean, we watched a number of other ones as well, didn't we? We watched a bit of the Harry Potter panel.
Yeah, Deborah Murray.
Yeah, we watched the Walking Dead panel.
Ross McCran and Michael Tesco.
Yeah, and that was really good, actually. In fact, all of the panels were really good, weren't they?
Yeah, that we saw anyway.
Yeah.
We didn't go to the wrestling or the Musketeers because we both not. Yeah. Neither of us.
Yeah. We'd have probably gone to the Red Dwarf one, but it was the first one, and it was before our level of tickets opened up, wasn't it? We had the poor man's tickets.
Yeah.
So we couldn't. Yeah. So we weren't there for the 9 o'clock start. Doctor Who.
Doctor Who. So.
Because that's why we're here.
First up.
Who was on the panel?
Yes. Oh, it was Annette Wills, Gemma Redgrave, Angela Bruce.
Okay.
So the first question they were asked was, what was their best moment of Doctor Who? And Anik says best moment that her favourite moment was getting the part of Polly. Yeah,
no, that's right. Yeah, it was.
And Gemma's two best moments were the Trafalgar Square scene in Day of the Doctor and the Black Archive sequence with Double Kate and Double Osgood seeing Matt Smith, John Hurt and David Tennant.
Yeah. Which actually must be a great moment, wouldn't it? She sort of talked about how great it was when she was there filming that bit, and then around the corner came 3 doctors.
Yeah.
And not many people get to actually do that. The other, because we're trying to work out how to pronounce her name now, Anik. We're not sure. But she was basically sort of saying about how lovely it was working with Patrick Troughton. Great. She described him as a sort of very mystical man, didn't she? But yeah, that's good.
Angela's favourite moment was when Ace was with Excalibur.
Yeah.
And she just had to say, "Look."
Yeah.
Or as she says, "Look."
Yeah, that's right. She's a very loud woman, wasn't she?
Yeah.
She was sort of telling this story about how a lot of people sort of there on the hillside, when they're on the opposite side to where she was meant to point, and she got confused. And basically, when she said "look," she pointed in the direction of the hill rather than the direction of the lake. And the director basically sort of said, "Don't worry about it. We can move the lake." Something along those lines.
Memories of working on Who. So Anik said War Machines, feeling that the show for the first time was part of the nation.
Yeah.
Gemma Redgrave said growing up with it, being terrified and hiding behind the sofa.
We loved that, didn't she? Because it felt, because obviously we have our sister vidcast for this podcast Behind the Sofa, and we were wearing our Behind the Sofa t-shirts.
Is it a she or a he?
I think you normally call it your sister one, yeah.
Oh yeah, because it's sexist.
I don't know why it is. They always say the sister channel or whatever. It's just sort of
sister.
It's just the way it is. But yeah, but she mentioned hiding behind the sofa, and yeah.
So Angela said again about hiding behind the sofa, seeing Patrick Troughton and being frightened of the show.
Yeah, and then really about exciting it was to be asked to be in it, wasn't it?
Anik was also shocked by the missing episodes because she never got to see them.
I know, I was shocked by that. It seemed really sad, didn't it?
Yeah.
That she's not even seen a lot of the episodes that she starred in, and because they've gone. I mean, the only one that's there in its entirety of her run is the War Machines, yeah? So there's bits of other ones, isn't it? Like Underwater Menace, like, Moonbase. So there's bits there, but not whole stories.
So I didn't really get this quarry thing.
I can explain that a little bit. they used to film a lot of sort of space scenes in a quarry fairly near to Bournemouth. I think it's one in sort of Wareham Way, I believe.
Yeah.
And so somebody was just sort of saying, you know, you're being here in Bournemouth, you're fairly near the quarry where you did lots of feelings. What is it? There are lots of filmings, not feelings. What memories do you have there? And she just sort of told this tale about this pub, the Scotch Arms, which apparently had a picture of them all in it, but I couldn't locate it. And I couldn't jot down very much more than that.
I didn't jot down. All I jotted down was underwater Venice quarry.
Yeah, that's right. Well, that's you saying, wasn't it? It was the quarry that was used.
Because I think I was too confused then.
Yeah.
I was trying to catch up on that and everything.
Yeah.
So when asked what's it like working with the unit, Gemma said it's thrilling to be the leader. Doctor Who's one of the only programmes with women in front and centre.
Yeah, no, that's right. She also she mentioned that it's being a sort of parent with teenage children that never actually listen to you. It's quite nice to play a character where you're in charge, so what you say goes.
Yeah,
which is quite funny.
When asked what's it like working with McCoy, Sylvester McCoy, Angela Breeze said that it is as over the top and unique as he is in the show. Yeah.
She sort of commented a bit about how it was, in many ways, it was probably harder for someone like Sylvester McCoy because the BBC itself had grown out of love. You know, no longer really loved the programme in the same way as it used to. So it wasn't really pumping much money in it. So it had probably more sticky back plastic stuff going on than it ever did before. And Sylvester McCoy still managed to make it work.
What they were asked then what they enjoyed working on other than Who. So Nick said The Avengers, The Saint and The Railway Children. Angela said Hair, The Rocky Horror Show and Coronation Street.
Yeah.
And Gemma said Coronation Street made her grandfather get a TV.
Yeah. There was a bit of a love-in for Coronation Street going on, wasn't there? I've always hated Coronation Street.
Me too. I like EastEnders though.
Yeah. I think what I thought was quite charming actually, because thinking about the Railway Children, because she was saying that they were talking a little bit about television and I think it might have been the granddad she was talking about, and it was like, oh, Railway Children's going to be on the telly. You know, Anique's in this show, and so you have to come down and watch it. And he said, oh, she'll wait for me. Which is kind of funny. And Gemma was then sort of saying, well, actually, you know, whilst that was the case now, these days you can, because you can just pause live telly. You can, you know, even things like the football you can pause. So that was good.
So on working with Dad, what's the best tragic companion ending? I'm working with Dad.
Yeah.
Everyone said Rose.
They all said that was their favourite tragic ending, didn't they?
Final question they were asked, even though only two of them got to answer it because
they'd run out of time, hadn't they?
What's their favourite Doctor Who alien? Gemma said Big Finish with the Marshmen on TV, and second favourites are Daleks and the Cybermen, which had a great influence on her Doctor Who life.
I think what she was saying, wasn't she, was that one of the Big Finish productions that she's done, she's got to work with the Marshmen.
I'm guessing it's Unit 2 Domination.
Yeah.
Wait, is it Domination Take Over?
And I don't think she was overly familiar with the Marshmen from, is it a Tom Baker episode, aren't they? Yeah. And so I think she found that quite exciting working with them, didn't she?
Also, Anique said next week she's recording Target for the Macra Terror, and they are her favourite Doctor Who alien.
Yeah. So that'll be one of the stories that she was in that's missing, yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's quite nice.
I really want to see that one.
Yeah.
It looks quite good.
Yeah, but they were sort of commenting, weren't they? Or she was commenting in the fact that was one of the ones that was really seen as being a sort of truly scary episode.
Yeah.
So, yeah, that was good. That was a good roundup of the talk there.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, is there anything else you want to talk about with the comic? What about? Did you want to mention about next? Well, the one later on in the year.
Oh yeah.
So, obviously, we live in Dorset, which is where Bournemouth is. So that's the easiest Comic Con for us to get to.
Yeah, they've announced that Doctor Who wise, there are people that are going to be there so far.
In September, yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
from September 3rd to the 4th. These are only the first people to be announced. There are much more to come, it says.
Yep.
So Doctor Who people are Peter Purvis, who played Stephen, and is also famous for Blue Peter. Deborah Watling, Victoria. Catherine Stewart, Jenny.
Yep.
And David Goodison, who played the Destiny of the Daleks, Davros.
Yeah. And also Crichton from Red Dwarf. Yes.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Robert Llewellyn.
Yeah.
Is it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So so we'll be going along to that one again. We'll
so
probably
that's
be
early September.
We'll no doubt be donning our behind the sofa t-shirts again. So if you see us, if you go along to the Bournemouth Comic Con and you see us there with our matching t-shirts, feel free to come over and chat to us.
I mean, if you're going tomorrow, if you're listening now and you're going tomorrow, we warn you that if you're going because of Doctor Who, it's not as good.
No. We definitely, I think with Doctor Who, it's probably not. I don't know. There wasn't as many Doctor Who people there this time as what there was last time we went, was there?
No.
But we had a great day because we went to the panels and stuff like that.
We didn't go to any of the panels.
We did. We missed the Doctor Who panel last time was really early, and it was before our tickets were valid.
Yeah, but this time the good thing was that they were both at 4:00.
Yeah. So you'll have a great time if you go tomorrow. Anyway, because there's so much going on.
There is. And if you're going for non-Doctor Who related things, then let me just load up the website because there are quite. Just going to load up the schedule for it because there's a Game of Thrones talk tomorrow.
Yes.
With Daniel Portman and Hannah Waddington. There's a Doctor
Shame
Who,
Woman.
There's a Doctor Who talk. Fraser Hines, Constable. No, not Fraser Hines, actually. He's not there. Vernon Wells, another Walking Dead, and Devon Murray again.
Yeah.
Jack Donnelly, Wrestlers. And if your tickets let you, then the Aliens one at 10:30.
Brilliant. Excellent. So, if you're into all things geeky, go along anyway. I'm sure you'll have a good time.
Make sure if you haven't gone this time or last time, then make sure you go in September because it is great.
It is great, and we'll be doing a little behind the sofa special.
Yeah.
On this year's Bournemouth Comic Con.
Yeah.
Which we'll maybe release tomorrow if we get a chance to do it.
Yeah.
Depending on how we do.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you gave me a sort of quizzical look then.
No.
Excellent.
Okay.
Good. Okay. So what are we on to now?
So this week our review story is the Vampires of Venice, which was a Matt Smith story with starring Karen Gillan and Arthur Darvill as well. So we're going to give our thoughts in our review now.
Yeah.
Do you want to explain a little bit about the story?
Yeah, I'll give a quick background on it. I won't go into any particular great amount of detail, but I mean it comes on the back of what's the previous story? You might
Flesh and Stone.
Okay.
Doesn't come off the back of that one, does it?
Well, the reason what I was going to get onto, there's the moment where Rory, what how did it start? Yeah, no, okay, right. It's the stag do for Rory and Amy's wedding, and the doctor bursts out of a cake.
Which is ridiculous.
Which it was quite amusing. But he basically sort of says in a very clumsy way that Amy had tried to kiss him.
And there's that great line later on where Rory asks, "Did you kiss her back?" And then Matt Smith says, "No, I kissed her at her mouth."
Yeah, that's right.
But
So,
not
yeah, we
as
did
like
that.
because I was
Not
trying
by
to
the time
remember
for you.
it.
But the so as a result of all this, anyway, that basically the Doctor decides to take Amy and Rory off for a romantic trip to Venice. And as you'd expect, when the Doctor goes somewhere, all is not going to go to plan, and they sort of witness this view of vampires, basically, don't they?
Vampires in Venice.
Vampires
That's why it's
in
called
Venice.
Vampires in
Yeah.
Venice.
So they sort of start to explore, find out a little bit more as to what's going on. They bump into this guy whose name I can't remember, whose daughter has basically been sort of taken.
Oh,
I
can't remember his name.
I mean, they're basically into the royalty, aren't they? Really, and very sort of posh, aren't they? These vampires, yeah. And yeah, stuff happens basically.
Stuff happens.
Stuff happens, but it's one of the. It's probably a bit more light-hearted than a lot of them.
Yeah.
Would you say?
Would you say it's as good as Crimson Horror? Last week's story.
No, I think I prefer the Crimson Horror.
I told you last week.
Yeah, but I did really enjoy it.
Yeah.
I really liked the vampires.
Yeah,
I thought they were really good.
Cool.
Really, really cool. I liked the fact that, spoiler alert, I liked the fact that they weren't really vampires.
Yeah.
They were actually sort of fish aliens. What are they called? Right, okay.
I think they're called Saturines.
And they were using sort of like an image thing, weren't they, to sort of disguise themselves as humans.
Yeah.
And it was quite a nice story in many respects, wasn't it? The whole...
Not nice, but like...
Yeah. Oh, nice insofar as... quite tragic in many respects, wasn't it? In the basically, in order to survive, these fish race wanted to take over Venice because they no longer had their own home planet or anything like that. And basically, by saving Venice, the Doctor's effectively condemning that race, isn't it?
Yeah.
It was good. I enjoyed it. It was very funny. It was a good romp.
Yeah, I think it's a very enjoyable episode, and it's one of those episodes which I think is the perfect tone, which I think Doctor Who should go back to. I mean, I love the darker tone. Everyone knows that me and Dad both do, but we also moan that it's getting too dark, and younger fans are getting tired of it.
Yeah, I think what was good about Vampires of Venice is that you could definitely see that a young child watching that episode would have found it really entertaining, really exciting. They would also, though, have found it quite creepy at times, and there were a couple of sort of jumpy type moments.
There were.
So yeah, really, really good. Do you agree on that?
I do.
Enjoy it. Yeah. Okay. What was your favourite bit about it?
My favourite bit overall. I don't know. I loved how it can stay dark in respects and be a little bit tragic, but also be exciting and adventurous and also funny.
Yeah, that's right.
I really like that, how it mixes with different sort of things.
Yeah. Okay. Good.
Yeah.
Definitely worth watching that one. In fact, it's funny actually because that was actually the last Matt Smith episode. Oh, you might haven't seen that, have I? Yeah.
I thought about that last week, and then I said, "Damn, you haven't watched all of the Stephen Moffat episodes. You're just one step away from being one of the cleverest Tuvians on this podcast."
I'll always be the second cleverest Tuvian.
I said one of the cleverest on this podcast, and there's only two of us.
Yes. So definitely worth watching there.
Yeah.
Yeah. And obviously, if you're a Netflix person, you better watch it quick.
You better,
because it ain't got much longer on there.
So, scores. Monster.
Really good Monster. I can't quite give them a 9, I don't think, just because, you know, 9's a 9. I'm going to give them an 8.
Okay, yeah, I agree.
Mm-hmm.
Character development.
Yeah, there's some interesting stuff going on, isn't there,
There is.
between Amy and Rory.
The love triangle relationship sort of continues between the Doctor,
Yes.
Amy, and Rory.
Yeah, that's right. They're Amy's boys, aren't they?
Yeah.
And she loves them both, but in different ways. Really.
Yeah.
I would about an 8, I think.
Excitement.
Excitement. All right. Can I give it a 8.5 or not? We're not allowed. So it's got to be an 8 or a 9.
Yeah.
It's going to have to be an 8 because I don't think it's quite up at 9 level.
Oh, this is easy to add. So.
Yeah.
And
Is that why we can't have 0.5s?
Yeah. Pace.
Pace, really good. Actually, I will give it a 9 for pace because I think pace-wise it's perfect.
And overall.
Overall, an 8.
Okay, so like 41 out of 50, I think.
Yeah, probably is something like
Quite high work.
that. Yeah, because it's a really watchable episode.
Yeah.
And I think in terms of one-parter stories, you couldn't ask for a better one-parter story in terms of pace and the way that it achieves that episode, you know. Good. So
can we find out what we're going to be watching and reviewing next week?
What are we going to be watching and reviewing next week then? It's time to hit the magic randomise button.
Just going to load everything up.
So here we go, we're loading up now. Just as a quick reminder, everybody, the randomizer is a spreadsheet that's got every episode of Doctor Who ever on it. We've got a little macro in there. We press the randomizer button and it picks the episode that we should be watching next week and talking about on this very show.
Okay, so ready?
Here goes.
Okay.
Okay.
Wait, yeah, we have that. Okay, I'll just write it in here.
So, are you going to explain what it is in a second?
Yeah, so this is another Peter Davidson one.
Okay. We've got a few Peter Davidson ones today, haven't we? Is this one of the ones with the snake creature?
Yes. It's the first one with the snake. Mara.
Yeah, okay. I've not seen this one. Well, I probably have when I was growing up, but I can't
Did I say that it's kinder?
Yeah.
Did I say that?
Yeah, I think you did, yeah. If you didn't, it's kinder.
It's kinder, yeah. So we'll be watching and reviewing that for next Saturday's podcast.
Excellent. Good. Have we got time for Who to Face?
Yeah.
Going to do one. You reckon you're awake enough here? So, last section of the show, we'll probably make this a fairly quick Who to Face, shall we?
We'll try and do that because we all want to get our sleep, don't we?
So Who to Face.
Viewers want, even the English viewers want to get their sleep.
So Who to Face uses a similar concept to the randomizer, but it is a spreadsheet that contains a list of all the Doctors. It contains a list of quite a lot of monsters and villains. By pressing the randomizer, it will pit one against the other, and we'll both, off the top of our heads, without any form of prompting whatsoever, have a quick go at trying to basically come up with a skeleton storyline.
Okay.
So, what have we got? Who to Face?
Got the Gelf and the Fifth Doctor.
Okay, you're going to have to tell me what the Gelf is, because I can't think.
Quite dead.
That's the one that I always
confused with the Shakespeare one.
Yeah.
This is meant to be a quick edition, right? So it helps.
Yeah, I just need to see a picture of the Gelf. So
can you type it in? Because there's all wires in there.
Let's have a look, see what we've got there.
You spelled it wrong.
Did I? Oh, right, okay.
Oh, okay, I can't trust you.
Okay. Oh, it's spelled like that, is it? Oh, it's Gelf, not Gelf. Okay. So, oh, there's ghosty things. Oh, I remember those, yeah. Yeah, okay, so, okay, and which Doctor, I've got now, which Doctor, we have Fifth Doctor, didn't we?
Yeah.
So, Pete Davidson.
Yeah, so.
Okay, so you first, yeah?
My story's called The Sins of Heaven.
Okay.
So, the Doctor and, the Doctor, Tegan, Nissa, Turlo, Adric, and Chameleon are joined by the Brigadier.
So you're just trying to get even more people in the TARDIS.
Adric isn't in TARDIS though, because he's dead.
But you're trying to get more people in the TARDIS than they have had in there. They always have quite a few people in there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But Yeah, so we've got the we've got some.
What are you doing now?
So, all of the companions. I just had a memory block there. All of the companions take a visit to the Earth, but they accidentally land in heaven.
Oh, okay.
There, they discover the mysterious truth that when you die, you do not live afterwards. You become one of the gal. A gas-like creature thing.
Okay.
So the gals are planning by using the dead, are planning to come down to Earth and try and destroy it. The Doctor Tegan, Nissa, Turlo, Chameleon, and the Brigadier will get into the TARDIS in a crammed TARDIS and take a visit to Earth in the future, where they discover it's like apocalyptic. And they discover what Earth's like in the apocalypse, and they have to try and reverse the events that never should have happened.
Sounds good.
Yes.
Excellent.
Your story.
Okay, I'll keep this one quite brief. It's going to be called Platform to Never.
Okay.
Okay. And
It's got the girls in it. Bye.
it's basically Pete Davidson, obviously, is the Fifth Doctor.
Yeah.
Just one companion in this one, which is unusual for Pete Davidson.
It's very unusual.
It's just Tegan, and he's trying to take Tegan back home, as he's often trying to do, and trying to take back to Heathrow, basically. And they arrive at this train station, and basically, when they get there, the locals have identified that lots of people have been going missing, and it's just a certain time train that basically, when it arrives at its destination, on 2 occasions, all the people on the train have gone missing. Okay, and when they go onto this platform, they just they're waiting for this train. Originally, the train's been cancelled because obviously that's what would happen. If it happened twice, they wouldn't keep running it, would they? It would be cancelled. But the Doctor actually says, "I need this train to run again so that I can actually see what's actually happening here." And as the train pulls up, all these ghost-like figures are all walking down the platform in a scene very reminiscent of one of my favourite 70s, was it 70s or early 80s? Late 70s, early 80s film series, Sapphire and Steel, where you've got all these soldiers, ghosts walking down the platform. And it used to really freak me out when I was a child. Loved it. And basically, the Doctor realises that actually what they've got here is a Gulf invasion, and it's not actually ghosts at all. And that's pretty much all I'm going to sort of say on it.
The problem is with both of our stories, we haven't included the girls linking to gas.
Yeah. Well, I've forgotten about that a little bit.
Okay.
But you're right, they do link to gas, don't they?
Yeah, they are gas ghosts.
Yeah.
Basically.
So, also at the same time the train's going missing, there was a big smell of gas. I mean, in terms of why the people have been going missing, the Gulf have basically been draining people of their energies. So it's not been so much that they've not arrived at their destination; it's that they've never actually left at all.
Okay.
So
cool.
that's basically the main idea there. It needs a bit of padding out, a little bit of love and attention, but as a basic concept, that's what you'd see written on the back of the video camera.
Yeah.
Even down to the fact that it's sort of saying, "Oh yes, there was a gas. There was also a smell of gas noticed." Yeah, so there we are. His face. Hope you've enjoyed that, and I hope you've enjoyed the podcast.
Yes. Next week, on hopefully a very 5-hour earlier episode.
Yeah, hopefully so.
6 hours earlier than this.
If there's anything else, I'll be out gigging this time. So you'll be doing it on your own.
Next week, we're going to be starting our monster analogy series.
Oh.
Looking at the Daleks.
Fantastic.
We'll tell you more next week.
Okay. We'll also be doing a review of Kinda.
Yeah. We'll be pressing the magic randomizer button.
Oh. We'll be giving you news and views from the Whoverse.
And we will be doing another round of quiz or question.
So I hope you've enjoyed this very, very, very late version of Doctor Who Time and Space.
Yes.
We're now going off to the planet of Nod.
Yeah.
So
Remember to check out Ghost.
check out Ghost. Yeah, the latest of your Big Adventures, which went live moments ago, well, about an hour ago, probably, wasn't it? About 2 hours ago, probably now. Yeah. And
About an hour ago, because we were doing this
Yeah,
podcast
yeah.
then.
yeah, so it's probably before we had that really hearty Indian tuck-up, isn't it?
Yeah, that's why we're even later.
Yeah.
Good.
So, yeah, so definitely check that out. Also, keep your eyes peeled for the next Behind the Sofa, which will probably be the Comic Con one, which we will probably do tomorrow morning.
Hopefully, yeah.
Yeah. So, without further ado, I'm D. Cool signing off.
And
Thank
I'm
you.
Lewis Moon signing off. Thank you.
Good night.
Good night.